Hello, botanists. Do you even know what a botanist is? Well, I'll tell you. A botanist is a scientist who studies plants, and that's what we're going to be doing over the course of the next few days. So I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of lessons today over the life cycle of plants. Now you know that I tend to think of a life cycle as a circle story, and that is exactly what we're talking about today, the circle story of plants. So you're going to come across some vocabulary as we go through this lesson, and of course, the common one would be life cycle, which is the series of stages in the life cycle of a living organism or thing. Seed, a small plant embryo enclosed in a covering called a seed coat, usually with stored food. A seedling is a young plant raised from a seed, and a mature plant is a fully grown plant that has reached adulthood. The flower is the part of the plant that makes seeds, which continues the life cycle. Like all living things, plants have a life cycle. They grow from baby plants to mature adult plants, just like people do. There are 4 stages in a plant's life cycle: seed, seedling, mature plant, flower. And you can see it constantly takes itself through this cycle or this circle story. As you can see from this graphic, this particular plant is that of a bean life cycle. So starting with the seed, the plant life cycle begins with the planting of a seed. The seed needs certain conditions to begin to grow. With warm temperatures, healthy soil, and water, the seed coat softens and begins to germinate or sprout. Seedling. As the seed germinates, the tiny roots and shoot stored inside the seed begin to grow. The roots grow down into the soil. The shoot grows upward above the soil toward the sun. The plant at this stage is called a seedling. Adult plant. The seedling continues to grow until it reaches adulthood. With proper soil, water, and sunlight, the adult plant will soon produce flowers. Flower. At this stage of the life cycle, the adult plant begins to produce flowers. Inside the flower are the seeds that will continue the life cycle. Once the seeds are made, the flower begins to die off. Fruit. Some, but not all, plants produce fruit or seed pods. The seeds are found inside the fruit. We eat many of a plant's fruits and seed pods. Can you think of some right now that you eat? Now, I've included in today's agenda a little visual that you could draw in the life cycle that we just talked about. It's an exact replica of this page. You can download it right from the agenda and fill it in. You can always go back and replay this for help. Next, we're going to take a look at or observe the inside of a seed. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. This would be much more fun in the classroom where we would have our hand lenses and we would actually be taking an up-close and personal look for real. But this is the next best thing, observing the inside of a seed. And some of the vocabulary that we'll come across are embryo, the part of a seed that develops into a plant, seed coat, the outer coating that protects the seed, the cotyledon. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? I'm going to say that word again. Cotyledon, the tiny leaf inside a seed where food is stored. Hilum, the small scar on the side of a seed where the seed was attached to the plant. You know what I call the hilum? I call it the plant's belly button. Germination, the process by which a seed begins to grow. So let's take a closer look at the inside of a seed. So these are bean seeds. The inside of a seed has three main parts. The outer covering, called the seed coat, protects the seed and keeps moisture inside. The plant embryo is the tiny root and shoot attached to the inside of the seed. Just like people, the seed needs food. So the food for the tiny plant embryo is stored inside the seed in the cotyledon. Boy, I like saying that word. Say it with me. Cotyledon. Again. Cotyledon. This food storage keeps the plant embryo alive until it germinates and begins to grow. On larger seeds, like this big bean seed, you may see a tiny scar where the seed was attached to the plant. This is called the hilum, and it's the seed's belly button. Do you see the belly buttons on these seeds? Look closely. Right here is that belly button. So if we were going to take one of those seeds and split it open, this would be the inside. So you can see right here would be that outer covering, the seed coat, that protective layer. Here would be that embryo. And inside would be where that food is stored. And there's that word I like to say, in the cotyledon, or food storage. So again, those are your three main parts of a seed. And we could label those. Can you help me do it? Let's take a look. We have three main parts. We have this one, and again, it's like we have taken a big bean seed and we've sliced it open. So we're looking at it from the inside. So we have this part, and it looks like this label would go here. We have this part, and it looks like the label should go here. And we have this main part, and the label should go here. So help me move these labels where they need to go. What is this part of the seed? That's right, that would be seed coat. Whoops, let's go back. Seed coat. How about right here? You are exactly right. That's the embryo. And the food storage? Oh yes, say it with me. The cotyledon. Now, it's not a part where we would label it, but if we did, do you know where the hilum or the belly button would be? Yep, about right here, wouldn't it? Once the seed has dropped from the plant or blown by the wind into healthy soil, it can germinate. Germination begins when the temperature is warm enough and the seed is given water. The water softens the seed coat, enabling it to break open. The roots grow down into the soil, and the shoot grows up through the soil toward the sun. And those, my friends, are the parts of the seed. So stay tuned until tomorrow when we'll learn some more about the life cycle of plants. I hope you enjoyed being a botanist as much as I did.